Today on the Luke Crotzer Show, I will be discussing an interview I had with Sloan Rachmuth about ridiculous mask measures in my school, a few highlights from this month's Moore County School Board meeting, and finally, Joe Biden struggling to control himself. I'm Luke Crotzer, and this is the Luke Crotzer Show. In order for this story to make sense, I need to give you a little context. So, about a week ago, I was trying to get my lunch from the school. However, I was unable to do so because I didn't have my mask on me. Now, in the past, it hasn't really been an issue as I've received food most of the year without having a mask on. With that said, because my school has an inconsistency with masking, that day, they were dead set on not giving food to unmasked kids. This is what that looked like. Okay, sir, can you explain to me, please, why I can't have my food? Can you explain it to me, please? Can any of you explain it to me why I can't have my food? Can any of you explain it? But you don't have any answers to that?
No, I'm gonna ask you a question. You have to have your mask on to be served in the cafeteria.
And are you aware that not giving me my food because I'm...
Man, hey, look, you do what you want, but you're not going to be served unless you put your mask on.
Look, sir, you do realize that not giving me my food is a form of child abuse. You do know that, right? Seriously. And you do realize that not serving a kid's food is a form of child abuse, right? You do realize that. Really? You're saying that not giving a child their food is not a form of child abuse? Of any kind? What does the rules have to do with anything? It has everything to do with morality. You're not giving me my food, therefore it's a form of child abuse. It doesn't matter with any of this.
Why don't you just put it on? Just put it on.
Ma'am, I understand that. It's the fact that it's just as equivalent. Ma'am, I have seen people not wear their mask properly. Ma'am, you're not wearing it. Ma'am, you weren't even wearing your mask properly. Yeah, ma'am, you weren't even wearing your mask properly. You were not wearing your mask properly when you were trying to talk to me. So how do you have any right to tell me I should not be allowed to wear my mask here? Seriously, you're being unfair in this situation. All of this is completely unfair. Now, there is a few things to pay attention to in this video. One is the fact that the assistant principal was clearly eating an ice cream sandwich in a common area, where COVID is so highly transmittable. Second, the cashier is trying to force me to wear a mask, but she isn't even wearing hers properly because she's adjusting it and leaving it under her nose with no care. And finally, directly in the back of the room, you see a student with his mask completely down, exposing his mouth and his nose, which is equivalent to not wearing a mask at all, and yet he got his food with no problem at all. The whole situation was completely unfair and wrong in many ways. Now, after I recorded the video, I did finally put my mask on to get my food. However, that was after I realized it didn't matter what I did or said in that moment. They were never going to listen and clearly didn't care if I didn't eat or not, which is completely disgusting. After I took the video, I didn't plan on doing anything with it. I just wanted to show it to my parents so that they would know what's happening in my school. However, as you can see, that's not what happened. After I showed them the video, my mom immediately decided to tell people about it and post the video to literally everywhere. Luckily, that video caught the eye of a journalist named Sloan Rachmuth. She was not only the person who posted my video, making it go viral, but she even gave me the opportunity to discuss what happened with her and share my experience. Here is a little clip of the interview.
Well, great. I'm glad you did. I mean, the reactions were priceless. The guy I love was sitting there eating the ice cream. I mean, he was just completely stunned, and I felt like going, man, you know you want to eat your ice cream. You know you want Luke to go away, right? But
Yeah, I had the same feeling when that was happening.
Yeah, you kind of feel bad for the guy. I mean, he's just trying to have his ice cream. He doesn't expect you to
Yeah.
come out and ask the right questions at the right time and pointing out the hypocrisy, number one, and just this whole thing is just a kabuki theater, if you will.
Now, if you guys want to see the full interview, you can find it in the description box below. And I assure you, you won't be disappointed with what you see. I still find it regrettable that the school was able to get away with all this, though. I mean, if this situation was reversed, and I told my school that my parents decided to punish me by not feeding me, then they would have no problem with calling social services for child abuse. However, if the school does it, then it's totally fine, apparently. Now, I understand that I broke the rules, and I wasn't wearing my mask, but hear me out on this. If you go to prison for the most horrific thing, for the most horrific crimes imaginable, you can still get 3 meals a day and a place to put your head. You could be responsible for the death of thousands of people, and you still receive your food each day. So all in all, what my school did was completely disgusting, and I wish more and more people would get involved in taking a stand against this tyranny. I only hope that my story can help out with that. As you guys may know, the Moore County School Board recently had another school board meeting in regards to whether or not to make masks optional in school. Like always, it didn't end well. With a final vote of 4-2, the Moore County schools will still continue to require indoor masking. With that said, there are still a few highlights I want to acknowledge. Here is a clip of the first highlight.
Hey, hi, good evening, Chad Stahl. I'm here to express my concerns about our state school systems. They appear to be losing sight of their fundamental purpose. They are becoming more and more like little healthcare facilities to manage the health of mostly healthy children. Schools are masking, testing, quarantining, and soon the pressure will be on to vaccinate these students. This is taking the focus away from our students, teachers, and all other support staff. I believe you even have some of these staff members tonight because they're feeling the neglect. Our schools are doing this without proper risk assessment or studies. These things are also being done without any authority granted to the school district. What general statute allows the school board to act as the health department? How can you be sure you are not harming kids? I have an exemption, but I was told the ADA has no sway here. So how do you know what's happening to your children inside the schools? How do you know how they're being treated if they have an exemption? You probably don't. Union County, Harnett, Sampson, Wayne, Lincoln are just a few that have decided to empower their parents and students. These districts want to get back to their most fundamental purpose. Orange County, Moore County, and others continuing with the approach of mandates, or as I like to call, a distraction of learning. This approach has done very little to impact the infections, hospitalizations, and deaths in these counties. These control measures are not yielding the desired results, so why mandate? To succeed, Moore County believes the school system should engage and inspire. I am encouraging you to do exactly that. Engage with the parents that want choice. Don't blow them off and ignore them. Inspire your parents and your students. Give them the empowerment they deserve. They will become inspired, and you will watch them take care of one another without you having to demand it. Tonight, I am asking you to do exactly what you claim will bring success. Empower and engage, educate and inspire your parents and your students. Return a free, basic, sound education to your community, free from politics, free from medical tyranny, and free from the ABC agenda. Make the statement tonight to the business of COVID that Moore County students are not for sale. Let the testing vendors, the vaccine vendors, the federal funding, your panoramas, let all of these people know that you're done selling your children. Let them know. Moore County children are no longer for sale on behalf of thousands of parents across our great state. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, this guy has made a lot of good points that I do agree with, but the one that stands out to me the most was his claim that schools are not really focused on teaching kids, but are more interested in keeping everyone in a mask and getting them vaccinated. That is 100% accurate. The next highlight is a woman speaker who was able to make an amazing burn to the women on the school board. Let's take a look.
So we're silenced. At these meetings, I've watched now the board members handle themselves and how you seem to think that you will continue to run the clown show. I see some people on this board who actually want open dialogue, yet some of you are motivated by your own agenda and the determination to control us parents and our children. Now I come to you as a woman and a mother. And one thing that has been astounding to me is that as a woman, I know how much women are capable of doing great things to protect children. And I can't help but wonder, where is that with the women on this board? How can you sit there and tell us mothers of the children that are being muzzled that we are not the authority on what's best for our children? How can you call yourselves moral and good when everything you're doing goes against the moral, maternal, and right way? It is time for us parents to wake up and stop hoping and trusting that you board members will do what is best for our children. It's time to stand up as one voice and take the mask off our children's faces and take the masks of false virtue away from you and expose you for what you really are. Power hungry and weak who hide in the shadows of evil and call it virtue. It's time to expose you for what you really are and stand up to the authoritarian tyranny that you try to rain down on our children and their education.
Wow. I mean, that has got to be the best burn I've heard from that meeting. And apparently I'm not the only one, because if you listen closely in the video, the audience really enjoyed that dig. Now, the final highlight I want to show you is a little hard to see, but it's something that nobody ever talks about. Let's put the final clip.
One of the hardest things as a parent is trying to explain to your children. You know, when my son came home with COVID, the first thing my daughter said, my brother's going to die. You know, how do you explain to a 6-year-old that her brother is not going to die? You know, when he was up there sick, he thought he was going to die. The fear level that masks and the policies and everything that it pushed forward, it's transversing into our children. These children are scared. I mean, it is a parent. I had a kindergartner come over to visit, and right before my kindergartner, you know, I'm trying to tell him why we're not going to do the vaccine. And then the next kindergartner, she's going to get the vaccine. And she's like, is my friend going to die? You know, you're taking everything away from us if the vaccines become a mandate. You know, I'm going to have to start ramping up a campaign just to keep my children on my plan, not the state's plan. That's going to go back into the school system. You know, we have to have a choice. It is super important. I hope you guys make the right decision. You know, and I would really like to see your position on a mandate for a vaccine publicly.
Yeah, I mean, you really feel what this guy's feeling. This clip is a little sad, however, it is the sad truth. One of the reasons why we still have masking mandates in schools is because of the irrational fear that we will all die if we don't. And I feel bad for those parents and kids because they think that the only way to not die from the virus is to put a muzzle on your face for the rest of your life. I mean, I just don't understand why the school board allows this to happen. Well, at least the 4 members that are in support of the mask mandates. I just don't understand why they're completely fine with enforcing these abusive mandates, and they just do not care what effects they have on children. I mean, they clearly don't, because with a final vote of 4-2, we still have to keep wearing a mask. And unless at least one of them changes their vote, I don't see the next meeting ending in our favor either. For my final segment, it's going to be completely immature and completely inappropriate. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. So first, Joe Biden has been doing a lot of traveling lately. He went to Europe to attend the G20 summit. And after his arrival, the first thing he does is crap his pants. Let me explain. According to an article by News 18, it reads, quote, U.S. President Joe Biden is currently trending on social media for all the wrong reasons. President Biden, the only second Catholic president in U.S. history, met Pope Francis on October 29th. Biden was in Rome to attend the G20 summit, which was from October 30th to October 31st. He and his wife, First Lady Jill Biden, were greeted by Monsignor Leonardo Sapienza, who runs the papal household, as well as gentlemen of His Holiness. After the POTUS official visit to the Vatican, word got out that the meeting was unprecedentedly long because he had a bathroom incident, end quote. And then the article features a tweet by former Nevada Republican Party chairman Amy Tarkanian, said, quote, "The word around Rome is that Biden's meeting with the Pope was unusually long because Biden had a bit of a bathroom accident at the Vatican, and it had to be addressed prior to him leaving," end quote. Now, I can't confirm whether this rumor is actually true or not. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And this is only the first thing that Joe Biden did. After Biden allegedly pooped his pants, Biden then attended the very, very important. Sorry guys, I think Biden and I missed the very important answer to solving climate change. I mean, that's right guys, you got Joe Biden sleeping on the inside, and you got crazy Greta Thunberg yelling, "Blah, blah, blah." Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think we are able to solve all our problems with climate change. I mean, I feel very safe in their hands. But wait, it still doesn't end there. Biden also met with the Duchess of Cornwall, Camelia Bowles, and I'm not making this up, Biden decided to clear his bowels in front of her. According to an article in The Cut by Daniel Cohen, it reads, "Yes, it's true. The Duchess of Cornwall is allegedly obsessed with telling everyone at the COP26 summit about a lengthy episode of flatulence Biden experienced in her presence." The Daily Mail reports that Parker Bowles hasn't stopped talking about a fart Biden admitted during a conversation she was having with him. The fart was, per the Daily Mail source, both long and loud, and also impossible to ignore. Was it harder to ignore than the fact that scientists have called our current level of emissions a quote-unquote code red for humanity? Something that leaders at this summit have done very little to change? I guess so, end quote. Okay, I just gotta stop there, because what is going on here? We got hundreds of private jets blowing gas to get rich people to this very important summit, and then we have Joe Biden blowing his own gas. So, what is going on here? I mean, I feel like this has turned into a super spreader of carbon emissions. This whole event is nothing but a joke, and Biden is the butt of the joke. Figuratively and literally. Well guys, that's our show for today. If you enjoy my content, be sure to like, comment, and Really? Sorry about him. Anyway, if you enjoy my content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to click the little bell icon, that way you won't miss any of my new content. Anyway, I thank you all for joining me today, and I wish you all a happy weekend. I am Luke Crotzer, and God, man, Joe, what did you eat? Peace out, guys.